So that's where our Wednesday's conversation starts with this guy right here. You know him as Chris Ello. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Ello San Diego or Chris Ello SD. Mr. Ello, let's start with Coco.
Okay.
Of the
eventually, I drove down from the North County today. They're partying in Rancho Santa Fe
of course.
today.
Even though she's a little shy about now claiming her California roots, but I digress.
Oh, that's too bad.
Is Coco the heir apparent to the Williams throne, or is it going to be Sloane, or is it going to be Madison Keys? Who's the heir apparent?
I don't think any American player is the heir to Serena and Venus. I mean, that's putting them on too high of a, asking for too much. But I think Coco Vandeweghe has a chance to win this tournament. I mean, as well as Venus is playing, and I know she's favored, Coco Vandeweghe is a great, great young tennis player, and she has a chance to win this thing. I think the thing I enjoy the most is the power that you and I possess, because we sat here no less than a month ago and said that the state of American women's tennis was completely kaput. And now look what's happened.
It's a unique gift to be wrong so quickly.
Yes.
And we want to congratulate you on that. We're looking at the 4 semifinalists. I think Venus Williams, after one of her, I think it was her quarterfinal win, she was asked who they credit for the sudden rise in women's tennis, and she had a very unique perspective. Let's hear Venus Williams' take.
I mean, I think we have to give some credit to Serena. I love seeing these young Americans coming up and playing big and focused, and I would love that, all that again, like the top 4, top 5 in the world, and we're playing each other in semifinals. That would be huge. I would love that.
A rising tide, and certainly Serena's been a rising tide for a real long time. Does that float all boats, kind of thing?
I think so. I mean, look at Sloane Stephens. I mean, a young American like that, and Coco, the same thing. I mean, I think you see what Serena's accomplished. You say, I can accomplish the same thing, too. Serena Williams is the greatest of all time, and now it's nice to see some young Americans coming up on the ladies' side. I mean, that's fantastic. 4 females in the semifinals, all American.
If not for Serena, we'd be talking about Venus as the greatest of all time. She's
Potentially so.
37 years old, still playing with the young guns, which sets up my next question. Roger Federer is still alive on the men's side of the draw. Which aging athlete is a bigger star in your eyes as far as longevity, Federer or Tom Brady?
Okay, well, if you ask this question to just about anyone, anywhere, they're going to say Tom Brady, just because the National Football League is more popular and he's won all the Super Bowls. But I'm going to answer Federer. And the reason I'm going to say Federer is because he was at the top, he was the all-time greatest, and then he disappeared for like 3 or 4 years, and it looked like he'd never win anything again. I think if Tom Brady were to finish in last place for 2 or 3 seasons and all of a sudden forget to throw out a football and then come back and win a Super Bowl, now you're looking at what Federer has accomplished. So I say Federer.
Let's pick up the college football. Aztecs 4-point underdogs in Tempe Saturday. Is that line accurate?
Yeah, it probably is fair. I mean, I tweeted this out earlier today. 1975, that's a while ago, was the last time the Aztecs beat a Pac-12 school on the road. And it wasn't even the Pac-12 then, it was the Pac-8. They beat Oregon State. So it's been a long time since this has happened, but I think Saturday night's a good time to scale this mountain. I mean, look, Arizona State has a terrible offensive line. They allowed 7 sacks last week to New Mexico State. Rocky Long ought to be able to take advantage of that with his blitzing defense, and Arizona State gave up 500 yards to New Mexico State. So hand off to Penny and blitz the quarterback. They can pull it off.
I'm going to watch that game.
They can pull it off.
Rocky Long, Tuesdays with Rocky, always a hoot. Always a press conference. But interesting topic, talking about how recruiting is getting easier, or at least this is his take on it. Take a listen.
Recruiting is so easy now as far as knowing who can play and who can't play because of all the benefits of technology. In 5 or 10 minutes, we can tell if the kid can play or not. All we have to do is get on our computer and get his highlight tape, because every freshman thinks that they're good enough to play when they're a freshman. So they look for a spot that they can come in and play as a freshman. So if you have a really good junior, senior football team, you're not going to recruit many guys that are ready to play.
He forgot to give credit to the Pigskin Report as being a great recruiter.
You guys show all those great highlights
and I know he watches, but obviously he can't show bias.
He's got to be able to spot talent watching that show.
Is his assessment, you always hear about how recruiting is getting harder. He has the other take.
He's absolutely right, and I'm going to go to the minor sports when I show you. I was doing a soccer match the other night. There are kids from all over the world playing soccer for San Diego State, for USD, tennis players from all over the world playing in the United States. That's because they can send out YouTube videos. Those kids couldn't be recruited otherwise.
Absolutely. Give me your best 15 seconds on these next couple topics. First of all, Philip Rivers' mobile film room. Is that going to quash any possible commitment questions if the team starts out 2-5?
I want to see the outside of the mobile film room. I think it's like a dusty old donut shop type
Randy's
RV.
Donuts.
Yeah, right. But the inside's beautiful. No, nobody should ever question whether or not Philip Rivers is committed to being a great quarterback. He has been one for a long time.
Fair enough. The Dolphins game moved out of the path of Hurricane Irma. It's going to be put in week 11. Why didn't they use the cue, move the game out here, and so these teams now having your bye in the first week is inhumane?
Well, it is, and I don't think either the Dolphins or the Bucs wanted their bye in the first week. I think it would have been very, very interesting had they moved an NFL football game to Qualcomm.
We would have had more fans than they do at StubHub.
That's true, but they just moved an NFL team out of Qualcomm. I think it would have been rather embarrassing.
Fair enough. The Colin Kaepernick saga continues. Jason Whitlock released this tweet during his show today. Apparently they had a Colin Kaepernick imposter posing, as you can see. The backlash was immediate. The Fox colleague, Shannon Sharp, voiced his displeasure, said he was going to take it to management. At Fox Sports, who has more juice, Jason Whitlock or Shannon Sharp?
Shannon Sharp, probably by a slightly large margin because he's an athlete. I think he has a bigger voice, although Jason Whitlock thinks he has a bigger voice. My thing on Colin Kaepernick is that if he could really play at the level of a Super Bowl quarterback the way he was several years ago, he'd have a job. And if you don't believe that, look who's starting in running back for Dallas this weekend. Ezekiel Elliott, who's suspended for 6 games. They found a way to get him in the lineup. He's playing because he's great.
10 seconds. Yankees, Red Sox, sign stealing. Your take is?
Red Sox steal signs. Yankees get some tougher signs to read.
All right. We have 5 seconds.
5
Del Mar
seconds.
aftermath. Only 5 horse racing fatalities. Good meat, right?
Good meat for Del Mar. Attendance down a little bit, but that's because there's so many places to bet on racing.
All right. So concludes our chat with Chris Ello. We send it to commercial. We'll be back with the 6 o'clock news right after these commercial words.